Okay everybody, welcome back to the channel. As always, this is your favorite airdrop hunter, Light here, and today we're going to be diving into another potential airdrop. This is a layer 2 EVM based blockchain called Scroll, which launched their mainnet roughly 45 days ago, and they also have raised over $30 million from investors all around the world. And obviously in this video we're going to be diving into what are exactly the potential criteria for this airdrop. Now, as I already said, there's a mainnet and there's also a testnet. I already have done transactions on testnet before they launched their whole mainnet thing. I would probably disregard the testnet altogether at this point, so I would focus everything on the mainnet transactions. And we're going to be using the same logic that we have done on these other layer 2 blockchains. There's this good website called Venser, and this basically just gives you kind of like an idea how much points you would essentially have per blockchain that you have interacted with. And these guys have basically Linea, Base, Starknet, and all these things listed, and it's totally free. You can just add your address there and it will give you some insight. So basically, just to recap in case you're new to my videos, the most likely criteria are transaction frequency, the amount of interaction, so how many different smart contracts you're going to be interacting on the blockchain, how much you have bridged in terms of volume. So right now I today just transferred this sum. We're going to be looking into the first step, which is obviously bridging through the main bridge controls. So the deposit amount is a one thing. I really recommend over $50. There's highly likely chance that often or not, amounts lower than $50 are not qualified. Transaction volume and transaction over time, so in multiple distinctive months, unique days, weeks, and months. So usually these are the base criteria. Then there's obviously extra stuff like deploying your own contracts on the chain as well. So the first thing we're going to be doing here is obviously using actually the bridge. And currently the bridge is going to be only through Ethereum through Scroll. Obviously that's going to have a bit of a higher fees. There are some third-party chains available. I think there's Orbiter Finance and different things like that which you can use, or Acros. And those are going to be a bit cheaper options and maybe even faster options. But the thing is, sometimes the main bridge is going to be the criteria. I think in Optimism and Arbitrum, for example, it was the main bridge, not the third-party bridges. Sometimes they might count them all, but just to be safe with all things, and obviously the security aspect of these things, a lot of these third-party bridges tend to get hacked. So just saying that maybe you want to use the generic bridge. And as I said, over $50 to $100 is probably a good amount. You can add more if you want to, interact with all types of things in the ecosystem. And once you're done with all the tasks and the farming and the transactions, do not withdraw the money back. Okay, that's kind of like important too. Because there are obviously criteria like, oh, it doesn't matter if there's like 100 transactions on the thing, but if there's no money left on the account, that might be disqualified. So the first thing we have here is the Scroll Origin NFT. There's 15 days left for this. And this is basically bound down to 3 different phases. The first 30 days, the first 45 days. And basically as I'm making this video, there's probably 6 hours left when you're watching this live until we're going to be going into Cubic. So you want to be deploying the transaction on the Quartic before we are going to be hitting the Cubic. That doesn't mean that once we're on the Cubic phase that it's worthless to do. Absolutely have to do it. You want to do it. But I'm just saying that if you are watching this video live, definitely you want to do this step, at least bridge, then just deploy on, contract into actual Scroll mainnet, and basically you're eligible for this NFT. So what we're going to be using here is called Atlas. And basically this one has a couple of different networks. And this is actually very convenient for farming on zk-Sync Era and also on Polygon, ZK EVM. And what else do we have here? Linea, obviously. Filecoin, I guess, could be thrown into that, and Base. But we're going to be choosing Scroll mainnet. And I'm using OKX wallet here, connecting here my account. And we're going to be using the Atlas Copilot. And okay, we're gonna sign up here. You don't need to confirm anything. Okay, there we go. We're signing up. You might want to do separate emails because I don't know if these are tracked. There's another method to basically deploy these contracts, which we're going to be showing out later on in this video, so don't you worry about that if you don't want to use this one. This one is actually really good because we can do this one trick. Okay, Jesus Christ. Never know. Sometimes hard time remembering how many letters each of my passwords are. Okay, there we go. So what we're gonna be write simple and very short smart contract. So basically, this is just general information. When you are writing a smart contract in general, the more lines and more functions it has, the more expensive the gas is going to be when you are going to be deploying it. So usually if you would have just done like a normal thing, it would have basically maybe made 30, 40, 60 or 70 lines. And we're going to create this file and we're going to be clicking deploy here. And there we go. And the current cost is $2.46. I thought when I was using the very, very basic contract that I wrote for me was like $5. So this one is a bit more cheaper when we make them some simplified, and you can like find different codes, and these are all going to be different, pricing depending on how long they are and which functionalities they are. Simple contracts, which are just like signing a message or something, probably are going to be costing the least amount of things. And let me see if we can actually see the. Okay, we got the contract now deployed, and let's see how much the cost of this transaction was. So $2.36, it was roughly right. You can always adjust the gas fee, right? So yeah. And next up, now that we have done it, and we can go back into check eligibility, and you are eligible to mint, blah, blah, blah. So come back on December 15th, guys. Remember, put that on your calendar. December 15th. I hopefully will be reminding people on Discord and Telegram when that happens. But this step is very important because this is by the official team. So this is the most important step on this whole thing, alongside with the bridging. Next step is to create your own scroll domain. We always do the domain thing because it's kind of important. These are costing at lowest $5, and we're just going to be just taking a random. I was just drinking the Jarritos lime, and this is going to be costing at 0.0025. So we are talking about estimated fee. Let's put slow confirm. So we are talking about $5 roughly. So these are probably the most expensive costs that you're going to be doing in this whole quest of today, depending on whatever you want to do, like LPs and things like that. Once the transaction is going through, there's an important step you need to do. And when I'm showing out these dApps, obviously not all of them are audited. Okay, not all of these are like 100% verified and things like that. So once this actually transaction has gone through, you can add these descriptions and emails and avatars if you want to. They might be some criteria for this service's own airdrop. So I'm showing you a lot of dApps which have their own airdrop. So you might be getting a one bird with two stones. Sorry, two birds with a one stone, okay? Not the other way around. So doing the primary address and you set it. This is also going to be costing you some gas. Actually quite more than I thought. Let's try to do as low as possible. But that's the estimate, so it might be something different. So this basically resolves my address as Jarritos Scroll. If you want me to send me tips, NFTs, or whatever, I guess you can do it by sending it to Jarritos Scroll. Jarritos. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that properly. Okay, so we have done this step. There is a referral program into this platform as well. So I'm going to add my link here. So I will be getting some money from your transactions, I guess. And if you have a friend, you can give them this also as well, if they're not watching this video. So next up, we are going to be going into all to finance. And this is this is another way where we can basically deploy a smart contract. Here they say gas fee is 10 cents. Let's actually see that if that's true. I don't mind doing 2 of these contract deployments because I'm just not, I'm thinking about how can I get many transactions as possible with different contracts with flow fees as possible. This is my strategy, okay? So let's see if we're going to be deploying this contract, how much it's going to be costing us. Okay, it's 70 cents. So this is less than we were paying earlier, which is okay. So basically, if you're watching, you can deploy the contract here to be eligible for the Origins NFT thing. This also will give you a specific NFT, which is by the Galax team. So there's this Galax quest that you can do, basically. I'm going to link this also down below, and this will give you a special Scroll Bridger NFT. This is something you probably want. I don't know if this is actually on Scroll chain or is this actually on, let me actually see, contract address. Yes, it's on Scroll, so you probably want this as well. A lot of people are doing this already. So this is another transaction, very cheap. So basically bridging any Ethereum, USDC, USDT to Scroll via this. So there's a bridge, use this. If you don't want to use the main bridge, you can use 2 bridges if you want to. It's all together. They are all accumulating here, and I guess they also have a referral program here, which is going to be paying into something. So I guess I'll leave that there as well. And this platform is also on multiple different chains, so Linea is as well. And there are a couple of other quests that you can do here. Oh yeah, we've already done that. So let's go into our next quest here. So what else do we have here? Then we have this gaming platform, which is like a Telegram bot or something. I haven't dived into this too much, but this is basically a lot of games that can be played basically on the Telegram application. And these have also their own airdrop as well. So I guess you're going to be getting these points by playing on these things. There's also these voting events. So this is another platform where you can basically, I don't know you can harm transactions specifically through the Scroll, but they are going to be having a Scroll event coming out soon. So you want to maybe bookmark this and, keep it on the loop in case when they're going to be starting their own thing. And it seems that there seem to be a fair amount of people playing these applications on their platform. Moving on, we have Satori Finance. This one is a perpetuals DEX. And basically, well, you want to deposit money here and then open a long and short transaction. They have a couple of, well, they only have Bitcoin and Ethereum right now, kind of making it simple. And, well, you're much more safer from liquidation. And this is exclusively to Scroll. And I don't want to say this thing. Usually these, I don't usually do a lot of these perpetual steps, even though I should, because historically, these perpetual platforms and DEXs have done more airdrops than normal AMM-based DEXs. And most often than not, in case of like DYDX and others, these have been more valuable in terms of their valuation. There's a lot more money in perpetuals. It's like a huge thing. And I think there's a lot more of these, like too many of saturation actually of perpetuals in crypto space, especially now. But, it's a free airdrop possibility for the both sides. Remember that when you are doing transactions inside, like closing and opening, I don't think those are happening on chain. So these are only recorded on their side of things. So this is another one that I would basically want to interact with as well. Next up, we have Alien Swap. We have featured this on many of our airdrop videos because they have this ongoing airdrop phase. They had one airdrop phase 1, and then they have airdrop phase 2. It's giving you a score of things. You can't sadly view your score on the first one, but whatever. I did participate to an extent here, and I have to do once again transactions more. And there are a couple of different things here. However, there's not a trade score at the moment for Scroll. But that doesn't matter because we're not just here for the Alien Swap airdrop. We are farming for the Scroll airdrop because Scroll airdrop is fundamentally going to be valued more than the Alien Swap airdrop. That's kind of granted. So what you want to do here is create an NFT. And this was one of the steps on the thing. So we're going to be connecting here. Well, let's actually make sure that this is actually in Scroll. Otherwise, this is a waste of time. Okay, we're logging in. Create now. I uploaded a specific image that I created out, an alien made out of scrolls. Damn, I'm such a genius. Let's make scroll alien, a scroll. These texts don't matter, by the way. It's just like whatever. I'm gonna put it as low price as possible. So basically, why does it low? When do I have to really ask? Like, okay. So you can mint this yourself. It's gonna be one transaction for you for very, very cheap. So basically paying the gas. And mint time is going to start now. Okay. And ending on March. Okay, let's go. 1 per address. Royalty free. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Use current address. I guess we're going to go throw my Twitter in here. And once again, like these are it's by the way good to follow me on Twitter as well. And there we go. Upload a collection background. Holy shit. Do we need to add something? Okay, there we go. And now we're going to be creating out this NFT. This is not only good for the Alien Swap thing, but it's also like another contract that we're going to be deploying here. And you can do these zero gas things on Ethereum. And I haven't really looked into that too much. but I'm gonna be, deploying this on Scroll. 26 cents. Okay, that's pretty good, guys. That's very cheap. So you might wanna like deploy contract or two if you wanna mint more than one NFT. That's also a possibility, because these are probably gonna be counted as contracts deployed. So one of the things that we looked in the very beginning of this video obviously was these 1 minute transactions, blah blah blah. But you also have to think about, like, they are going to be rewarding developers. So it may look like, oh, you have how many unique contracts that you have deployed, perhaps. That might be a criteria. And they also did say in the quest that there might be we will also distribute some rare NFTs with mysterious rules applied. So that's something you want to kind of, whatever that means. And managing collection. Can we actually go and managing collection? Scroll, minting. And I'm gonna leave this somewhere. And I can mint one of these myself, apparently. Okay, I'm gonna mint one of these. And the cost of that is gonna be 51 cents. So we have roughly maybe made like about $9 in costs right now. And countdown to the public, end of the public sale. Okay, it fucked up the dates or something. Well, whatever, it doesn't matter. And there's obviously other NFTs in the Scroll category, but some of them might be more expensive than the Scroll X Genesis. I don't know if this is actually by the actual Scroll team. There might be a lot of imposers, by the way. But you can trade, go back and forth. Now that we have bought an NFT, we should go into our... Where can I find actually my profile? No, we don't want to create an NFT. We want to... Where can I see sell? There we go. So now, and here you can, by the way, sell those, name services. So apparently the floor is 0.1. And at some point I can list this item probably. Let's see, like the B 0.02. Listing that item, gonna listing it for 6 months. Just farming out these transactions. Listings are usually pretty cheap compared to the other transactions. We've got 40 cents on this one. These are not the most cheapest transactions, I have to say, compared to some of the other blockchains. It might be the underlying technology, or maybe they haven't rolled out all of these updates on the chain yet. But, it beats the normal Ethereum, so I guess that's something. Okay, that's now listed. So we have done already a couple of transactions here. Now we can move on to our next step. We have a native DEX on Scroll called Splatter. And Splatter is very simple AMM. They seem to have a faucet here. These are testnet stuff. Not a lot of pairs here. Yeah, actually I'm not interested in this one. So we have another one called Izumi Finance. And you can do that one if you want to, but at this point, like, whatever. There's 299 of pairs there. So we have a bit of Ethereum here still on our... Let me actually refresh this so it says the most current Ethereum amount, because I don't think that's right. There we go. And let's see what prices we have. What pools do we have? Do we have an actual Zap here? USDC, and this is probably the best. And we're going to be adding out 0.05, not much. Going to approve these contracts. These are going to be obviously getting us some free transactions, obviously, into the chain. We're going to do another one, swapping for the USDC. Providing liquidity has been another key metric on multiple times in the past in the blockchain history, but it's kind of, up in the air, like which chains, which dApps in the liquidity are actually being counted. But yeah, so there are multiple of these actual... Okay, there's no farms right now for the... Okay, there we go. And you are going to be getting some LP rewards if there's not going to be impermanent loss included. But, as always with LPs, be careful with that. Careful with the pairs, because there are liquidity trains, there are hacks and things like that. This is not always the solution to go with. But I'm just saying that I usually like to do this. And you can do this also on Dodo Swap, Dodo X. They also are now on Scroll. Do they have pools here? They do to have, but is there any... Yeah, not any specific rewards here at this point, but whatever. So that's something. There's also this weird app called Chat NPC. I haven't tried this, so this is my first time trying out the platform. I think this is some type of a quiz thing, and you can win rewards. Do I need to pay here? How much is one NPC? Okay, I'm not paying $10 for one transaction. We can forget that one. And then as the second last dApp, we have ZK Synth. This is basically synthetic assets. This should be also available on Scroll. Let's see. Or maybe not. Maybe in the future. Okay? No, actually it is. actually this. So we can provide liquidity here if you want to. That's another one, but they don't have actual token of their own, so I guess there's an opportunity apparently to make some money, I guess. Just another one of these options. And then lastly, we have the only lending protocol I was able to find on Scroll. That is called Cock Finance, or COG. COG is not a cock. Not that cock, guys. And you can deposit things here. We have, actually, interestingly enough, we have paired things. So we have Rocket Pool Ethereum and Lido Ethereum, and these are pools. So this is another one that do they have actually, and you can create your own pairs actually too. Yeah, I think I have to look into more research into this one before I would like invest myself. And then lastly, I just want to say that there are other other dApps in this chain right now. Some of them are listed here, but they are, things that you're not necessarily able to interact with, or they might be on some type of different stage, like they are more like infrastructure stuff, which we're not exactly able to interact with and farm transactions from. But fundamentally, like, there are a multitude of different things here which are worth looking into. So there are definitely a lot of things here already, which actually I didn't know that I could load more. So okay, there's a lot of testnet stuff here too. So a lot of ways. You should go through this list if you find some other stuff that you find actually which is missing from my list. And obviously just try to get like at least 25 transactions, do transactions weekly, and try to do trade volume and things like that. And there's probably going to be some other airdrops happening before in Scroll, and you can utilize that money to also do more transactions and things like that. But thanks for watching. I'm obviously going to be linking all the other workshop airdrop streams we have done in the past. One for Linea, one for Zora that I did, and obviously recently with ZK Sync Era. And there's obviously going to be more of these. We have to do one for Polygon ZK EVM. If there's another one you would like to see a stream for, or I mean like a video like this, leave a comment down below in the comments section, and I will see what I can do with my tight schedule. Thanks for watching. I will be seeing you in the next video. Cheers.